Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! In the dimly lit sanctuary of the dressing room, a figure emerged from the shadows, its reflection revealing a mesmerizing transformation underway. The mirror displayed an artwork in progress, a canvas of skin where colors burst into life. Each stroke of the brush brought vibrant makeup to life, carefully crafted by skilled hands. Nearby, a silky brown wig rested, ready to unveil the ultimate disguise. As Coulson focused on the intricate details of his lips, the lipstick sealing his persona, a sense of excitement grew. With each careful touch, Lauren's image was taking shape. Time was ticking, the clock reminding him that the performance awaited. "You almost ready, man? We're on in half an hour." Coulson nodded, not turning away from the mirror. "Just about done. I'll be there in 5. Tony hesitated, his eyes lingering on the wig and sparkly dress hanging nearby. "You know, you don't have to do the whole drag thing tonight. The crowd loves your music either way." A small smile played at the corner of Coulson's lips. "I know, but Lauren's part of the show now. Part of me." Tony shrugged and ducked out, leaving Coulson alone with his reflection once more. He carefully placed the brown wig on his head, adjusting it until it fell in perfect waves around his face. With a final spritz of setting spray, Lauren gazed back at him from the mirror, confident, radiant, and ready to take the stage. The roar of the crowd pulsed through the walls as Lauren made her way backstage. She smoothed down her sparkling blue dress, took a deep breath, and stepped into the spotlight. "Hello, beautiful people!" Lauren's voice rang out, strong and clear. The audience erupted in cheers as she struck a pose, basking in the glow of the stage lights. "Are you ready for some music?" The band launched into their first song, an upbeat pop rock number that had the crowd dancing from the first note. Lauren's fingers flew across the keyboard, her voice soaring above the instrumentals. As she performed, she felt truly alive, more herself than she ever did off stage. During a brief lull between songs, Lauren caught sight of a young woman in the front row. The girl's eyes were wide with wonder, and she mouthed along to every lyric. Lauren winked at her, and the girl's face lit up with a brilliant smile. As the show went on, Lauren lost herself in the music. Each song felt like a confession, a piece of her soul laid bare for the audience. When the final notes faded away, the crowd's applause was deafening. Lauren took a bow, her heart swelling with gratitude and joy. Backstage, the band was buzzing with post-show adrenaline. Tony clapped Lauren on the back. "Killer show, man! You really brought it tonight." Lauren's smile faltered slightly at the use of man, but she brushed it off. "Thanks, Tony. You guys were amazing too." As she made her way back to the dressing room, Lauren was stopped by a tap on her shoulder. She turned to find the young woman from the front row, clutching a vinyl record of the band's latest album. "Excuse me," the woman said, her voice trembling slightly. "I just wanted to say, your music means so much to me. Seeing you up there, being so unapologetically yourself, it's inspiring." Lauren's heart warmed at the words. "Thank you, sweetheart. That means the world to me." The woman hesitated, then asked, "Would you mind signing this?" She held out the record and a marker. "Of course!" Lauren took the items and paused, marker poised above the cover. "Who should I make it out to?" "Evelyn," the woman replied with a shy smile. Lauren signed the album with a flourish. To Evelyn, never be afraid to shine. Love, Lauren. She handed it back with a wink. Evelyn clutched the record to her chest, her eyes shining. Thank you so much. You've given me the courage to be myself. As Evelyn walked away, Lauren felt a profound sense of purpose wash over her. She realized that her performances as Lauren weren't just about expressing herself. They were a beacon of hope for others struggling with their identity. Back in the dressing room, Lauren carefully removed her wig and began the process of removing her makeup. As Coulson's features slowly emerged in the mirror, she felt a pang of reluctance. The joy and freedom she experienced as Lauren was becoming harder to let go of each time. Over the next few weeks, Coulson found himself spending more and more time as Lauren, even when he wasn't performing. He began experimenting with subtle makeup and feminine clothing in his day-to-day life, testing the waters of a more permanent change. One afternoon, as Coulson was composing in his home studio, his phone buzzed with a text from his sister, Amelia.
Hey, bro. Haven't heard from you in a while. Everything okay?
Coulson stared at the message, his fingers hovering over the keyboard. He took a deep breath and typed out a response.
Actually, can we meet up? There's something I need to talk to you about.
They arranged to meet at a quiet cafe the next day. Coulson arrived early, his heart pounding as he waited for Amelia. When she walked in, her face creased with concern as she spotted him. Coulson? What's going on? Amelia asked as she slid into the seat across from him. You look different. Coulson realized he had unconsciously applied a light layer of makeup and was wearing a flowy, feminine blouse. He took a deep breath.
Amelia, there's something I need to tell you.
I've been exploring my identity. I know. I'm transgender. Amelia's eyes widened, but she remained silent, allowing Coulson to continue. I've been performing in drag for a while now, as Lauren. But it's more than just a performance. When I'm Lauren, I feel like my true self. I've decided to transition fully. I am a woman. Silence stretched between them for a moment. Then, Amelia reached across the table and took Coulson's hand. Thank you for trusting me with this. I love you, and I want you to be happy. If living as Lauren makes you happy, then I support you completely. Tears welled up in Coulson's eyes as relief washed over him. Thank you, he whispered. So, Amelia said with a gentle smile. Should I start calling you Lauren now? Lauren nodded, a weight lifting from her shoulders. Yes, please. And she, her pronouns. Okay, Lauren. Amelia squeezed her hand. I'm here for you, sis. Whatever you need. Over the next few months, Lauren began her medical transition, starting hormone therapy and working with a therapist to navigate the emotional aspects of her journey. She came out to the rest of her family and friends, finding a mix of support and confusion, but ultimately feeling relieved to live authentically. The band was initially unsure how to handle Lauren's transition, but they rallied around her, incorporating her story into their music and using their platform to advocate for transgender rights. Their fan base grew, attracting many LGBTQ+ individuals who found strength and solidarity in Lauren's openness about her journey. As Lauren's appearance began to change, she found a new confidence in her music. Her lyrics became more personal and raw, touching on themes of identity, self-discovery, and acceptance. The band's sound evolved, blending their rock roots with more introspective, soulful elements. One evening, as Lauren was leaving a recording session, she bumped into Evelyn, the fan she had met months ago. Evelyn's eyes widened in recognition. "Lauren? Is that really you?" Evelyn asked, taking in Lauren's now fuller figure and softer features. Lauren smiled warmly. "It is. How are you, Evelyn?" "I'm doing great, actually." Evelyn beamed. "Your music and your story, they gave me the courage to come out to my family. I'm living as my true self now, too." Lauren felt a surge of emotion. "I'm so happy for you, Evelyn. That takes incredible strength." "I couldn't have done it without your example," Evelyn said softly. "Thank you for being so visible and outspoken. It means more than you know." As they parted ways, Lauren felt a renewed sense of purpose. Her journey wasn't just about personal fulfillment anymore. It was about paving the way for others, showing that it was possible to live authentically and thrive. In the months that followed, Lauren threw herself into her music with renewed passion. The band's new album, which chronicled her transition and the universal themes of self-discovery, received critical acclaim and topped the charts. Lauren found herself invited to speak at events, sharing her story and advocating for transgender rights. One particularly memorable evening, Lauren stood backstage at a large benefit concert for LGBTQ+ youth. She adjusted her flowing green dress, her now natural brown hair falling in soft waves around her shoulders. As she waited for her cue, she overheard two young trans girls talking excitedly nearby. "I can't believe we're going to see Lauren perform!" one girl squealed. "She's the reason I had the courage to come out to my parents." "Me too," the other girl nodded enthusiastically. "I want to be a musician like her someday." Lauren's heart swelled with emotion. She remembered the scared, conflicted person she had been not so long ago, hiding behind a mask of masculinity. Now, she was living proof that it was possible to embrace your true self and find success and happiness. As the announcer called her name, Lauren took a deep breath and stepped onto the stage. The crowd erupted in cheers, and she felt a surge of love and acceptance wash over her. She approached the microphone, her eyes scanning the sea of faces. Some queer, some allies, all united in support and celebration. "Good evening, everyone," Lauren's voice rang out, strong and clear. "I'm honored to be here with you tonight. A few years ago, I was living a lie, afraid to show the world who I truly was. But music gave me the courage to be myself, and the amazing people in my life gave me the strength to transition." She paused, her eyes misting slightly. To anyone out there who's struggling with their identity, who's afraid to be their true self, I want you to know that you are valid, you are worthy of love, and you have a bright future ahead of you. It's not always an easy journey, but I promise you, it's worth it. The audience cheered, many wiping away tears. Lauren smiled, feeling more at home in her skin than she ever had before. She launched into her first song, a powerful ballad about self-acceptance and resilience. As she performed, Lauren caught sight of Evelyn in the crowd, arm in arm with another woman, both of them singing along with joyful expressions. She saw the two young trans girls from backstage, their faces shining with hope and admiration. She saw her sister Amelia, beaming with pride. In that moment, Lauren knew that her journey had been about so much more than just finding herself. It was about creating a ripple effect of acceptance and understanding, about showing others that it was possible to live authentically and thrive. Her music had become a lifeline for so many, a beacon of hope in a world that could often be unkind to those who were different. As the final notes of her song faded away, Lauren stood tall, basking in the thunderous applause. She was Lauren, musician, activist, and proud transgender woman, and she was exactly who she was meant to be. The concert concluded with a standing ovation, the energy in the venue electric with hope and solidarity. As Lauren made her way backstage, she was greeted by a flurry of hugs and congratulations from fellow performers and organizers. "Lauren, that was incredible!" gushed the event coordinator, a vibrant woman named Renee. "Your story, your music, it's making such a difference. We've already had several attendees reach out about resources for coming out and transitioning." Lauren felt a warmth spread through her chest. "That's wonderful to hear. If I can help even one person feel less alone in their journey, it's all worth it." As she gathered her things to leave, Lauren's phone buzzed with a notification. It was an email from a major record label expressing interest in signing her for a solo project. The opportunity to reach an even wider audience with her message of acceptance and self-love filled her with excitement and purpose. Driving home that night, Lauren reflected on the whirlwind her life had become. From the scared young man hiding behind a drag persona to the confident woman she was today, every step of her journey had led her to this moment. She thought about all the people who had supported her along the way, her sister Amelia, her bandmates, fans like Evelyn, and felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. The next morning, Lauren woke early, feeling inspired. She made her way to her home studio, fingers itching to touch the keys of her piano. As the sun rose, painting the room in warm, golden light, she began to play, pouring her emotions into a new song. The melody flowed from her fingers, a testament to her journey. It spoke of fear and doubt, of finding the courage to be true to oneself, of the joy of finally feeling at home in your own skin. As she played, Lauren felt tears sliding down her cheeks, not tears of sadness, but of release and triumph. When she finished, Lauren sat back, feeling drained but exhilarated. She knew this song would be the cornerstone of her solo album, a beacon of hope for anyone struggling with their identity. Over the next few months, Lauren threw herself into creating her solo album. She collaborated with other LGBTQ+ artists, weaving together a tapestry of diverse experiences and perspectives. Each song was a story, not just of her own journey, but of the universal human experience of searching for acceptance and belonging. As news of her solo project spread, Lauren found herself inundated with messages of support and gratitude from fans around the world. Many shared their own stories of coming out and transitioning, citing her music and visibility as a source of strength and inspiration. One afternoon, as Lauren was taking a break from recording, she received a call from a number she didn't recognize. Curious, she answered. "Hello, is this Lauren?" a hesitant voice asked. "Yes, it is. Who's this?" "My name is Michael. I'm a transgender man, and I just wanted to thank you. Your music helped me find the courage to start my transition. I was wondering if you'd be willing to speak at our support group meeting next month." Lauren felt a lump form in her throat. "Michael, thank you so much for reaching out. I'd be honored to speak at your meeting. Can you tell me more about your group?" As Michael excitedly shared details about the support group, Lauren felt a sense of coming full circle. She remembered how alone and scared she had felt at the beginning of her journey, how much she would have treasured having someone to look up to, someone who had walked the path before her. After finalizing the details with Michael, Lauren sat at her piano once more. She began to compose a new song, one that spoke of community, of finding your tribe, of the strength that comes from supporting one another. As the melody took shape, She thought of all the Michaels out there, all the young trans and queer individuals searching for acceptance and understanding. Weeks passed, and Lauren's solo album neared completion. Each song was a piece of her heart, a message of hope and resilience. The day before the album was set to be mastered, Lauren received another unexpected call, this time from a major awards show. They wanted her to perform at the ceremony, using her platform to raise awareness about transgender issues. As she hung up the phone, Lauren felt a mix of excitement and responsibility. She knew that this performance could be a turning point, not just for her career, but for transgender visibility in mainstream media. She spent the next few weeks meticulously planning every detail of her performance, determined to make the most of this opportunity. The night of the awards show arrived, and Lauren stood backstage, heart pounding. She smoothed down her shimmering gold gown, took a deep breath, and stepped into the spotlight. The audience fell silent as the first notes of her song filled the air. Lauren poured her heart and soul into the performance, her voice soaring with emotion. As she sang, images flashed on the screen behind her, photographs of transgender individuals from all walks of life, living authentically and joyfully. The final image was of Lauren herself, a split screen showing her before and after transition, both images radiating happiness. As the last note faded away, there was a moment of hushed silence. Then, the audience erupted in thunderous applause, rising to their feet in a standing ovation. Lauren felt tears pricking at her eyes as she took in the sea of supportive faces before her. In that moment, Lauren knew that her music had transcended mere entertainment. It had become a powerful force for change, a way to touch hearts and open minds. As she left the stage, surrounded by congratulations and words of support, Lauren felt a profound sense of purpose. Her journey from Coulson to Lauren had been challenging, filled with moments of doubt and fear. But standing there, basking in the glow of acceptance and admiration, Lauren knew that every struggle had been worth it. She had found her voice, not just as a musician, but as an advocate and a beacon of hope for the transgender community. As she made her way home that night, Lauren's mind was already racing with ideas for her next project. She knew that her work was far from over. There were still so many stories to tell, so many hearts and minds to reach. But with her music as her instrument of change, Lauren felt ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She was Lauren, musician, activist, and proud transgender woman. And she was exactly where she was meant to be, using her voice to create a more accepting and understanding world, one song at a time.
Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to check out Patreon for more!